Morale declined. We're still at good though. Also, let's see where we're moving. We're moving towards Wyrmtoe. And our Varl said he knows someone who can help us there. Moving out of Frostvellir, Nordfelling Wastes. Oh, that's where the lake once was. And Wyrmtoe. In the foothills of the Wormscale Mountains, the Varl created a small town beneath tall pines overlooking the Nordfelling Wastes. Few come here, aside from those looking for seclusion. Alright, so that's actually a Varl town, even though this is still in Setterlund. Good way from Skoger now. And the other group, obviously, they moved from Strand to Vedrefell, then from here along the Godstone to Ridgehorn, then after we found the Mender there and found it flooded by dredge, we fought our way out. Had a long march towards Two Spears, actually, I think. So eventually we'll maybe go to Einartoft, but actually not come this way. Would have been shorter, just the wandering road. But this way. Then I guess we'll all meet up or something. See how we continue to go. 10 days though. It's getting close. It's getting close. The caravan consists of more clansmen than you ever expected. Accusation of stolen chickens, missing heirlooms, and concerns over daughters' virtues are the sort of things you hear relentlessly. 531 clansmen, actually. Even fighters complain of spreading too thin to protect everyone. Try to keep people useful and too busy, I guess. Firewood collection, scouting, gathering of edibles, weapons, training and wagon repair keep your clansmen busy and actually too tired to complain. The chores slow the caravan, but the resulting pace and productivity feels worth it. Plus 15 supplies, nice, and morale improved and morale declined. We did use those supplies if we want to get to Wyrmtoe without anyone dying from hunger. Morale's normal now. And there is an event. Oh, the Godstone. Okay. So that is safe. Might be. Nice Godstone music too. You find a surprising number of people camped out at the Godstone. They've been here quite a while, ever since the sun stopped. Apparently they think Radomir, the sun god, has come back, and they're worshipping him despite the bleak environment. They welcome the caravan, mingling and swapping stories with the others while you rest. They've almost nothing of value to trade, but their leader approaches you and offers to let you join in their tribute. Ask what this tribute involves. Gullen Fury, one says, showing you golden liquid in a silver bowl. Places some on his chest, which almost sounds like it's sizzling, and explains through clenched teeth it's a gift from the sun god. An oil that burns like the sun and lets them see things clearly. I mean, the gods are dead, right? So see if anyone in the caravan is interested. Climb and inspect the Godstone before leaving. Nobody can really agree on what Radomir looked like, as fond as he was of his own isolation. He never directly contacted humanity. Most think he was a serpent that lived in the sun, and it's not uncommon to hear speak of seeing the tail of a great creature slipping through the thin clouds on a sunny day. Radomir was always one of the lucky gods, the kind who people thanked for good weather, healthy livestock, and a good harvest. Despite all that, the biggest mystery has always been how his Godstone came to be found at the bottom of a dried-out lake. After some rest, you continue on. The sun god worshippers are keen to stay, so you pack your things and return to the road. So nothing really happened here, I guess. God, we just have about 10 days left. Morale declined. We're at normal. We might go down to bad soon if we don't rest. Several people have noticed blank vultures circling above the caravan, taking advantage of the light snowfall. They pose no threat, but they have visible impact on the mood of your clansmen. The next time you look back, Oddlife is firing arrows into the air, which nearly tag the birds once or twice. Get lost! No dead down here, she shouts to nobody in particular. Join her in shooting the vultures, I think. First person to knock one out the sky gets their wish granted, you announce. Several of the caravan give it a try, including Alette, enjoying the sport and turning around morale. It's no big surprise when one of Oddlife's blue-feathered arrows brings down a bird. Morale improved. You know, says Oddlife, scanning the caravan, a lot of these women, they could do this. You can tell from the look in her eyes that she's excited about the idea. I think I'm going to start training them how to fight, she says. Yeah, I encourage her. We can always use more fighters, you tell Oddlife. If Alette's any proof, you know how to train someone with a bow. Oddlife gives you a smile. She heads off to some of the women in the caravan, showing them the vulture she shot down. Still short on supplies, though. See how we're getting along. Any closer to Wyrmtoe yet? I guess we should just barely make it. The supplies that we have. If we don't rest, morale will get bad, though. That shooting down vultures helped for another day, I guess. A gaunt man and woman approach the caravan, hands held high. A word, friend, the man says. We're poor farmers, down on our luck. The woman hits him and says, we're outlaws, plain and simple. 10 of us, and we'll help you in a fight for some food up front. What are your crimes? Misunderstandings, the man says. Meat houses are confusing. Never know when you've drank your share. The woman hits him again and says, we've stolen, killed a few when we had to. Skills that might benefit you out there. Join us, but you'll be watched. Two quickly shuffle to a supply wagon as 8 more bandits emerge from the wilderness. They gorge themselves on salted fish and cheese. Taking time to thank everyone. After eating, they politely keep to themselves. Plus 10 fighters, minus 3 supplies. Oh god. Don't know if we can afford the supplies. The fighters certainly helped. That's like more than 10%, like 13-14% of our total that got added. And I guess if we don't camp now, morale will go down to bad. The woman stifles screams, failed to overly concern anyone. It was only a matter of time before the expectant mother gave birth. The caravan is simply excited by this first sign of new life since the trip began. Call for a day of rest and celebration. The baby's cries replace the mother's. The entire caravan cheers. You raise your drink to the family, saying, tomorrow we rest and feast to strengthen long life. Again, everyone cheers, glad to forget their worries for some small time. Well, now...
Wyrmtoe was never the kind of place someone would build a town. Fittingly, the Varl living here aren't known for welcoming visitors with open arms.
Morale's weak. We need to rest a little after this then. The Varl find you before you see them, not surprising with this many people behind you. With weapons drawn, they demand to know why you're here, but back down when Ivar tells them he's come to see someone named Krumer. Well, I'll be damned. Krumer, it's been a long time. Yeah, it has. So what brings Ingvar to Wyrmtoe with his very own village of humans? Bad news. Dredger coming down from the south. We barely made it this far. That is dire news. Come on, we have food. We'll discuss more in the mead hours. As you follow the old Varl into their meager town, you catch him quietly saying, if it were anyone else. I've talked with the warriors here. I'll be honest with you. Half want to go north and find out what happened at Blodsbalker. Some think we should go to Grofheim instead. None of them are happy you're here. What do you think? If I had it my way, I'd stay here and let the dredge come. But you made this a problem, didn't you? Can't feed this many people for long, even if they don't eat much. This is a Varl town. Most of us take care of ourselves. You've got women, children. We could pitch in, make this place livable. It doesn't work like that. These Varl are here to get away from civilization, not make one. It's Krumer's call. It won't be long before Dredge are here too. No, it won't. There's one thing we should do. It's tell Jurundur what's going on. Who's Jurundur? Varl King. Well, as close to one as we have. Ingvar, where do you find these people? Stay here and rest, but once yours are ready to go, we do. I'm going to see off those who want to head north. But I'll join you to Grofheim. More travel? No, we've already come so far. Stop the pouting, girlie, even if Jurundur won't listen to a tired old Varl like me. I have a feeling they'll pay attention to your friend Ingvar here. They'll listen to Ivar? Ha! He hasn't told you. Of course he hasn't. Do what you need to, but don't be long. Right, so we can rest, which we probably should, considering we're on weak morale. Let's check out our heroes. I think we're pretty fine. Evil's a bit injured, and Ivar's a bit injured. Let's have a look at the market. 1 renown gets 4. Okay, I guess I'm gonna spend a lot of renown on supplies then. Enormous fishing hook, thought to be from legend. It's +2 break. Oh. What level is Ivar? He's 3, because it's a level 4 item. How much? This is just +1 will on rest, yeah. If we do this, then we have days worth 10. And I can get the world hook. And we're at 0. Speak to him. Krumer, can I spare you a moment? Mostly no, but I'll try. Can you spare a moment, I mean? Never had a moment to thank you for your hospitality. Consider it done, then. How do you get all this Varl to follow you? Respect, young one. After the Second Great War, wasn't much left for me to do, so I started training other Varl to fight. Got tired of that, made a place in Wyrmtoe. They still come calling, even with no wars to speak of. Seems like that might be changing though, don't it? Who is Ingvar? Ha! I'm not surprised. He never told you. I'm just surprised he can stand being around anyone at all. Your friend was one of us long ago. I mean, the dredge-bashing type. He was called Ingvar then. If you want to know why he changed his name, best ask him yourself. I'm too old to peddle and gossip. I bet you have some incredible stories. I might. Or I could be the most boring Varl you ever met. Depends on how much you like killing dredge. Ask me again someday. Might tell you about the time we filled it at yolks with whale teeth. And why. Any wisdom in fighting dredge? Depends how much you know. They're all armor. Tap 'em hard enough though and it'll shatter. Line up a whole row of slag and they'll explode on each other all the way down. You get in a big brawl, half your time is spent setting them up for it. And if you see one bang his axe like a turning fork, try to kill him quick. Sometimes the slag he's calling won't even show up. I best leave you to your business. I suppose you should. Take care, friend of Ingvar. Wait, I do have 14 renown still. Wait, why? Because I didn't buy this, I guess? What? Oh, I need to confirm. Okay. I don't have anyone at level 4, expect. Well, I do have Idil. Oh, this is level 2 though. That's even better then. You get the fishhook to have 6 armor break. Pretty good, eh? He can get 15% dodge strength attacks, I guess. Or we'll give it to Mogan. Yeah. Can I afford 2 more days of rest? Probably not, huh? I must. Just for morale purposes as well. We're back to normal. And everyone's healed up now, except for Ivar, who's still at 10 strength. So we're in fighting shape, I feel. And we can leave. Grofheim's quite a few days out, says Krumer. But nothing worse than crossing the wastes, I imagine. If there's anywhere you might be safe from dredge, it's there. You steel yourself for another long march, and half the town of Wyrmtoe joins you. 62 Varl, 20 supplies. Alright. So, we're going to Grofheim now. Which is... Oh, that's Grofheim. That's the one that burned down, right? That we just reached with the other force. The last home of the Varl, the seat of their power, founded by Arnfinnr, the second Varl king. Though the Varl have moved around a lot, most consider Grofheim their capital. The deeds of Varl are honored here, and all warriors of worth are buried at the foot of the 2 spears, where they are said to become part of the Varl's march itself. So yeah, that's gone now. Let's hope we find some more supplies on the way somewhere. Eight days. As you're nodding off to sleep, shouts of fire pull you back to attention. Flames quickly consume a supply wagon, oh no, and a few tents. A woman cries out, "My boy!" and points to a burning tent closest to the outlying Varl. 2 of the giants are motionless, staring at the spreading fire with terror in their eyes. Go in after the boy yourself. Wrapping your cloak around you, the smoke, flames, and tent becomes a blur as you grab the boy and slice through the back canvas with your hunting knife. You meet the ashamed look of the older Varl while the crowd cheers on your heroic act. Unfortunately, the supply wagon did not make it. What, we're at 3 days now? What the hell? People will starve for this. What in the depth was that about? You mutter to yourself. Something about the fire. What life talks to you. I've heard of this before, they don't like it. Doesn't change what happened, you think to yourself. Right. When was the last save? Are we gonna be safe scumming this? I think I might try to not lose the supplies here. Oh, it's after that though, huh? Okay. And the one before that? No, wait. 10 minutes before. guess that's just for this, huh? Yeah. Okay. Get these conversations over with. Let's get this conversation over with. Go to the market. Buy the world hook. And all the supplies they have. So we got 10 days at least. Rest for 2. Upgrade our heroes. He can get 15% dodge strength attacks. Yeah, we'll get it. Okay, leave. So, if we make an effort to save the supply wagon... Oh! That's actually a different event. I mean, it's probably better to not lose like 6 days of supplies. It quickly becomes apparent that not everybody's where you last saw them. A quick search of the area is not enough to recover all the missing clansmen. Thorough search, I guess. Takes time to establish proper search teams, but you devise a way to quickly cover as much ground as possible. After a full day of searching, you find many survivors, but your successes are dampened by a number of frozen bodies, and others who have simply vanished. So this means morale declines and we lose clansmen. That's a pretty bad outcome. Not gonna lie. Make an effort to save the rest of your supplies. You and another man douse the wagon with a water barrel, squelching the flames and saving most of the food. After the fires die out, you find a woman sobbing at the side of her dead son. You glance toward the ashamed Varl before saying, "Without these supplies, many more of us would have died." Mine's one clansman. Where's morale? Yeah, I don't like this either. Those are some horrible events right here. Let's do this. Go to the market. Buy that one. Buy all that. Leave. See if we get a better event or result. Oh, for some reason we're actually at 11 days of supplies now. Oh, because we didn't rest. That's right. So a flurry of snowfall seems to come out of nowhere and quickly thickens until you're unable to see the man in front of you. You shout at a complete halt, but the screaming winds drown out the sound. The day passes before the blizzard abates and the clansmen start to reappear from the snowdrifts. We didn't have this event the first time around. Why is that like the punishment for safe scumming? Move on, saying a blessing. Ask volunteers. Plenty of volunteers step forward and you send them in each direction for a predetermined amount of time. The scouts return mostly empty-handed, and family members plead for more time to search. An hour more. Calling out for missing family and friends, the clansmen trample the snow into boggy slush. Any chance of finding tracks are soon lost. That seems like a very bad outcome. They're all bad. They're all bad, though. Him again. The market. Also, we should probably camp and take these 2 days. To get back into fighting shape. A well-tended farm with plenty of livestock draws the caravan's attention. Upon your arrival, the farmer and his workers stand defensively within plain sight, shrewd weapons at the ready. Their crossed arms make their thoughts clear without a word. Offer some kind of trade? Come with us, it's not safe here. You warn the farm of the approaching dredge, but the man spits and says, "This land is my life, I lose that, may as well be dead." The farmen slowly nod their agreement, neither joining you nor lowering their weapons. Why can't I offer a trade anymore? Threaten? The warriors step forward, unsheathing weapons and practically growling. The farmer's men blanch and step aside as he chews the heartiest beasts. The farmer has the sense to say nothing, though the expression on his face stays with you for quite a while, even after you are away. You catch a glance of a lad who stares at her feet and does not make eye contact with you. Morale declines from this, but we do get a little bit of supplies. An old man sits astride an overgrown portion of the trail. "You lost?" you asked. He adjusts the leather strap on his head and says, "No, are you?" He jumps up and shuffles toward the caravan, his tattered clothes revealing no weapons. "Well, I've seen better," the old man says, peering into the supply wagons. "But I'll join you." He stands next to a fighter, throws his beard over his shoulder, and puffs up his chest. The fighter grins and the stranger exhales, asking, "What are we waiting for? Lead the way." "Who are you, and what are you doing out here?" "Call me Una or anything else you like." The old man says, "A man goes where he pleases, doesn't he? His stern look is more comical than intimidating, but you stop looking for answers." We've already got more than enough mouths to feed. Feigning shock, the old man addresses a few of the children. "Careful, you don't grow up like them, Una never forgets." The old man looks at you, adjusts his leather hat strap, and harumphs. Kicks the wagon's wheels, winces, and limps away. Oh, I guess that was actually a bad choice. I don't know. Morale's poor now. So I guess we should be camping more. And now everyone should be healed back up, right? Yeah. So we are in fighting shape. No fights coming our way, though. Oh, we reach a Godstone. The Godstone of Marek looms into view. Upon it carved a great ocean beast. Jagged stones jut out of the snow like shark fins. It's hard to imagine the Nordfelling wastes being filled with water at one time, but the Godstone stands as a reminder of the vast lake it used to look across. A blessing, shouts one of the men in your caravan, holding up what looks like a silver coin. It's a fish scale, he says, pointing out the rainbow pattern that shows in the sunlight. Soon, a curious child has found another hiding in the snow, and then a third is discovered. Morale improved. Perhaps they'll bring us lucky over here, and before long the caravan has become obsessed with gathering the shining scales. The caravan take their time. By the end of the second day, the scavenger hunt still continues unabated, and even you are starting to feel something in the back of your mind. You need to have one of the scales. You shake it off, uncertain whether to let this continue. And continue the task. It's another day before the fervor calms down, and you think there must have been something unnatural about it. Because when the last scale was found, the obsession suddenly abated. The next morning, one of the men presents a gleaming coat of mail to you. "We made this from the scales," he says, grinning. You graciously accept the gift, and the caravan gets back to travel. You get a god scale, huh? Down on supplies again. That cost quite a bit of time. And where is this Godstone? Where was it, that is? Alright. Just right on this mountain path. The Wyrmscale Mountains. The land's longest range of mountains, it was observed, resembles something like the spine of an impossibly large worm, each of its numerous peaks just one of many invincible scales. This idea, of course, didn't come about until the first maps were drawn. Before that, it was simply called the Far Mountain. That is a long ridge. Oh, morale's poor again. Wildlife calls you over, grinning. A row of women holding bows, of differing age and experience, line up before a row of trees in the distance. They fire, doing an impressive job of hitting the trunks. I think they're ready to fill some dredge with feathers. One woman still hasn't shot her arrow. She stands perfectly still. The others watch just as the winds shift. She lets go, and her arrow flies not into one of the trees, but a snow rabbit that had scurried out from underneath. "Dinner," she says, smiling. A group of men from the caravan approach. "Listen here," says one. "Practice all you want. My wife isn't fighting dredge." The other men agree in chorus. "We don't want to see a battlefield full of dead wives and daughters." Encourage Oddlife to train even more archers. "To be honest," says Oddlife, "this was already harder than I expected. I don't know how many more would really take to it. But the more people who can hold their own, the better." The men continue to complain. The women return to camp not just as clansmen, but as fighters. Was 25 fighters, morale improved. Good. As you're nodding off to sleep, shouts of fire pull you back to attention. Oh, that one again. I guess we can't avoid this event, huh? God. Command the Varl to help. Organize the peasants to put out the fires. You look away from the petrified Varl and rush to help others dip blankets into water barrels to combat the fire. When the flames seem under control, you're able to retrieve the coughing boy. The ashamed Varl retreat further from camp while peasants count the lost supplies. What in the depths What's that about, you mutter to yourself. Something about the fire, Oddlife tells you. I've heard this before, they don't like it. Right, so we do have 3 days of supplies now, so I guess people will start starving. Morale's weak, so we can't camp. This ain't great. You hear a whistle on the wind and spot a long line of Varl far up ahead, heading toward you. Behind them is a swarm of dredge and a trail of bodies leading off into the distance. Get down here, barks Krumer. So, do we meet the other caravan yet? Don't let them spread out, shouts the lead Varl as you approach the battleground. Soon you almost regret finding yourself fighting along them, facing off against a daunting number of dredge. It's going to be a brutal fight. Formations, I guess. Right. So, he'll get the fishhook. Logan will get the amulet. And... oh, we do have Assault with us now. Should probably use him. Level 2 Provoker. Certainly rather than... what's Krumer though? War Leader, so he has Forge Ahead. Oh! Stats are 13, 17. Max. So I guess I'll replace Rock, right? Right. And yeah, do it like this.